What if I told you that YungJoc, the man who once brought us It's Going Down, just went live and flipped the entire Rasheeda KirkFrost situation upside down? What if I told you that he called KirkFrost out not behind the scenes, not in a DM, but in front of the whole internet brace up because this isn't a drill, this is war, because when a man like YungJoc Atlanta royalty, a man who's seen it all, says KirkFrost insulted a genuine one, you better know something major just broke? Forget the IG captions, forget the cryptic stories, we're talking full-blown livestream. Heated truths and a stunning defense of Rasheeda that has fans rushing to take a side. Was that brotherly love or a not-so-subtle hint? That YungJoc has had Rasheeda's back for more than just moral support. Is this loyalty or something more? And why is YungJoc jumping into the problem after KirkFrost revealed that wild video? Too little too late. Or was this always part of a greater plot because the internet is officially on fire and when Joc talks the whole South listens? Stick with us because this ain't just a live stream, it's a live reckoning, so image this. It's 8:00 p.m. Instagram Live just pinged and bing, YungJoc's face shows up, no filter, no pretense, just him, raw Kirk. Frost disrespected a real one and enraged sitting in his black leather studio chair like he's going to read the city of Atlanta its final rites. And within 60 seconds, over 20,000 people were watching. And what was the first thing out of his mouth? Yo, I'm done being quiet, Kirk. You crossed a line. Yep, that's how he started. No easing in, no sugarcoating, just direct fire. And the way his voice but on Rasheeda name, few you knew this wasn't just about some video, this was personal, real. Personal because let's not forget YungJoc and Rasheeda go way back before the fame. Before the reality TV turmoil. Before KirkFrost began playing spouse one day and ghost the next wasn't just some industry endorsement, it was history. And according to Joc, history had officially been disregarded by a man who, let's be honest, hasn't exactly been husband of the year. In fact, if the VH1 Hall of Fame included a section for serial embarrassers, KirkFrost would receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. Hotel hallway footage on his private Snapchat. A grainy film shows Rasheeda supposedly entering into a room with a man who is very much not KirkFrost now. KirkFrost didn't say anything, didn't need to. He let the video do the harm caption, be careful who you give your loyalty to. The internet exploded. Fans swung from bewildered to enraged to enthralled in record time. But here's where it gets messier. Blogs were catching fire. Rasheeda wrote a calm statement on her Instagram story, no regrets, only lessons now. Some interpreted it as a graceful clapback, others as a confession. However, Joc is so red because Joc speaks up behind that livestream grin and those humorous radio bits. YungJoc seemed to have been hanging on to something deeper, which ultimately burst through as he witnessed Rasheeda being dragged through the digital dirt live on air, clasped his hands together and shouted, "Y'all really think she deserved this? After keeping KirkFrost down for 20 years, raising his kids, hiding his filth, and yet turning up to every single Love and Hip Hop reunion like everything's okay. He wasn't done. This dude done had babies on her, lied to her, disgraced her on TV, and now y'all want to cancel her because of a hallway video. Good foe, and y'all." The comment section went off. Tell him Joc Rasheeda has been too good for him. Why do guys only speak out when it's too late? Meanwhile, on Kirk's page, there's no video or apology. Just a rehashed gym clip and a flex choice with "Was Kirk loyal?" The message, stay solid. The boldness, but what really stunned the table was what Joc said next. Everyone always wants to talk about loyalty, but ask yourself, was KirkFrost ever loyal to her? Or did she just perform her role in quiet while he went free? Boom, and just like that. The narrative started to shift because suddenly it wasn't about what Rasheeda allegedly did, but about what she had put up with and, let's be honest, timeline doesn't lie. This is the same Kirk who surreptitiously took a DNA test behind her back. The same KirkFrost who was caught with strippers on national TV. The same KirkFrost who shed crocodile tears and swore never again, only to wind up in hot water 2 seasons later. At so when Joc remarked, Rasheeda could have made errors, but she never went public with his skeletons. It hit different, and you know what's even wilder, according to a source who DM'd Thea Dita Young, has been emailing Rasheeda privately for months, checking on her, encouraging her, even promising to assist her move out if she ever made that last break from KirkFrost. Now, are they just friends? Anything deeper simmering under the surface? Because if you ask Twitter, Joc always had a soft spot for Rasheeda. I mentioned it years ago. They had a vibe. Y'all sleeping on Joc. He's been waiting for this time, and just as this story began shifting, guess who unfollowed YungJoc on Instagram? Kirk. Frost petty maybe, but also indication that Joc touched a chord, and let's not forget. Kirk is not accustomed to being the one on defensive. For years he's been the one setting the scene, manipulating the strings, weaving his story. But now the stage is on fire with YungJoc holding the flame. What Joc did wasn't just about Rasheeda. It was about accountability for a society that applauds men for being bosses, while humiliating women for eventually snapping. It was about pointing out hypocrisy loudly and unashamedly. And while KirkFrost may be appearing to be firm, word on the street is that he's been quietly. His pals say he didn't anticipate the response. Didn't expect Joc to split. Atlanta knows the truth, ranks, and didn't expect Rasheeda to cease defending him, which according to sources is what terrifies him the most, because Rasheeda has always been the calm, the peacemaker, the one who sat mute while her husband made disaster after mess. But if she's done, if she's truly done, Kirk's empire may be the next to crumble. And just as YungJoc terminated the live with a mysterious Atlanta knows the truth, and it's about time you did too. We're left wondering, what else does YungJoc know? What else is being hidden? And most importantly, is this just the beginning? Atlanta knows the truth, and it's about. Those were YungJoc's closing remarks on the now famous live broadcast. And believe me, they hit harder than a diss track in the middle of a versus battle, because suddenly old pals, ex-castmates, and even production staff from LoveAndHipHop began chatting in corners. And guess what? Joc wasn't bluffing. Let's discuss receipts. According to a leaked massage thread, Rasheeda, a VH1 employee whose identity we won't publish because she still wants her job, has been storing a vault of film, voice notes, and screenshots that might bury Kirk's public image for good. We're talking about everything from DM, cheating, led to off-camera disputes that never got it into the final edits of the broadcast. And now word is she's finally contemplating utilizing it. But let's rewind to the man of the hour, KirkFrost. After YungJoc's livestream hit, KirkFrost Goes Live Shadow Room Hollywood opened, and 36 Twitter fan pages. Kirk went into full damage management mode. But instead of publishing an apology, or clapping back with dignity, what he did was go live from a poolside beach chair sipping a drink with the text, "Y'all bored? Huh sir, a man just accused you of publicly humiliating your wife, for clout, and your first response is a cocktail flex. The delusion is Olympic." But the true turmoil began when Rasheeda eventually broke her silence. Not with an essay or a press statement, but with a single TikTok video of her lip-syncing to the Nicki Minaj lyric, "You played yourself." No tags, no caption, no context, but that was all the internet needed. She's done this, ain't even shade, it's surgical drop. The receipts queen, we ready and right on cue. More insiders began to unload. One anonymous blogger shared a clip. KirkFrost apparently yelled at Rasheeda backstage during a VH1 commercial shoot, accusing her of humiliating him because she refused to wear the matching power couple attire he picked out. Another insider revealed a fuzzy audio tape. The speaker sounded disturbingly like KirkFrost screaming with an unknown woman and screamed, "I built this brand, don't forget that." Oh, the hypocrisy didn't end there. Remember that video? KirkFrost released Rasheeda with another man, the one who was supposed to damage her image. Guess what recently appeared? A second angle. And in that second viewpoint, which we haven't validated but will gladly speculate on, it appears like that other man wasn't some mysterious lover at all. He was her cousin, her true KirkFrost leaks. A misleading video. Blood cousin from Houston here for a music video shoot, lugging her suitcase into the hotel room while she got ready. Let me get this straight. KirkFrost published a deceptive video of his own wife Docio, making her appear like the villain over her cousin. You can't make this up, but you can, which is the whole point of this fake news station. Been juicier. Now let's pivot to the fans, because if you thought the celebs were spinning, you should have seen the comments section. YungJoc for president. He said what needed to be said. Rasheeda has been too steady for too long, that lady breathed. KirkFrost played checkers, Rasheeda played chess. And while Kirk's adherents raced to protect him, all three of them, the culture had already decided Rasheeda wasn't simply the victim. She was the phoenix. And YungJoc, the inadvertent hero. But here's where things get spicy. An unverified source, who claims to be Joc's assistant DMD, various gossip blogs with this T-Joc, and Rasheeda have been bonding on a deep level, lengthy convos, emotional support. He was there when KirkFrost wasn't. Now, we're not saying YungJoc is sliding into that spouse position, but we are saying if Rasheeda wants to spin the block, the parking spot is definitely wide available. Meanwhile, back at the KirkFrost, serious problem in Paradise reports indicate Mona Scott disappears. He's been ghosting event reservations, ignoring media calls, and even canceling an appearance at his own Frost Bistro site. Skips his own restaurant, that's fear, and appropriately so, since even Mona Scott, the queen puppet master of Love and Hip Hop, has supposedly distanced herself. Producers are reportedly unhappy that KirkFrost released film footage intended to be a part of Season 12B's debut episode. In other words, KirkFrost leaked the show's greatest plot bombshell for free, no NDA, no permission, no check. Mona is apparently enraged, and you already know what that means. Edited screen time. KirkFrost uploaded a deceptive film of his wife. YungJoc dragged him for filth. Liv Rasheeda hit back in code. Fans turned sides overnight. And producers are apparently cutting KirkFrost out of the narrative line, and Rasheeda's cousin got into a fuss merely for helping her carry baggage. Oh, and did I mention YungJoc was observed leaving Rasheeda's fashion store too? Days later, alone, quiet, but cameras don't lie. So now the story has entirely turned. What started as an attack on Rasheeda has become a lesson in survival strategy and silent courage. She never raised her voice, disclosed her husband's background, though we're all waiting for her to. She simply let the stupidity implode on its own. And KirkFrost is now the poster boy for how to lose a queen in 30 tweets or less. And the crazy part is that starting, because if the reports are accurate, if Rasheeda truly is sitting on a vault of deleted scenes, personal voicemails, and court-ready receipts, KirkFrost might want to lawyer up, because cancel culture is not coming. It's already here. Thought the turmoil was finished? Sit tight, because this last act is not just chaotic. It's Shakespearean. Soon after YungJoc was observed, fleeing Rasheeda's couture business wearing hoodies, sunglasses, and what seemed like remorse. Combined with swagger, the blogosphere went nuclear. One source said they didn't just speak, he was in there for almost an hour, lights were out. Security sent people away, something went down. Now we're not verifying what happened or didn't happen down, but let's just say the streets of Atlanta haven't buzzed this bad since Gucci and Jeezy squared off in Versus. The big blow came when a fresh leak emerged from an unknown VH1 intern who plainly risked everything just to go. This intern didn't simply dump images, but they shared a complete deleted email chain between production personnel, proving that KirkFrost was warned numerous times about his behavior. Particularly the potential emotional. Kirk responded in writing, "It's reality TV, she'll get over it, y'all. That's not just tone deaf, that's self-incrimination with a side of hubris." So now the producers are because if it gets out that VH1 let this drama to develop unchecked, they don't just lose a storyline, they lose sponsors. Multiple businesses have allegedly removed their mid-season ad spaces from the network, until Kirk is either penalized, demoted, or removed from future episodes. And that's not all. Word on the wire is that legal teams are hovering like vultures. And a civil complaint may be coming from Rasheeda team alleging character. Even more shocking is the power shift potential of a VH1 breach of contract countersuit against KirkFrost himself for defamation, emotional abuse, and unlawful distribution of deceptive film, hurting the company image and exposing confidential video meant only for post-editing clearance. Let's not forget the power shift that's occurring behind the scenes. Mona Scott allegedly conducted an emergency Zoom conference with Keyshawn. The leaked notes: harsh, Kirk has gone rogue, he's no longer important, concentrate. New narrative on Rasheeda rebirth. That's not just a warning shot, that's a plot execution. Meanwhile, Rasheeda, she's prospering as if she launched a platinum album and tweeted a calm, prepared video from inside her shop with no filter or auto-tune, just her face and the words, "Sometimes silence ain't weakness." It's the setup, and that clip alone racked over 2.4 million views in 24 hours. Ladies flooded the comments. "We feel you, queen, she about to rising Rasheeda devour and leave no crumbs." The new age of Rasheeda begins today. Sources say Rasheeda has formally secured a development contract with a rival network named Bet or Zeus, titled Rising Rasheeda, a behind-the-scenes documentary capturing her return, her truth, and from comic relief to comeback king. He is receiving roses for being the only man in the circus with emotional intelligence. And AO and KirkFrost, last we heard he was unfollowed by 3 of his own children on Instagram. Yeah, even family has limits. Frostgate, protect Rasheeda and Juck. Even Tamer Braxton jumped in Love and Hip Hop reunion. Rasheeda has gone to quiet. Y'all better watch her next move. She ain't playing. Meanwhile, Love and Hip Hop's reunion show, shot only days after the leak, was apparently a fiasco. KirkFrost was booed, and some cast members refused to film with him. At one point, security had to intervene when Scrappy reportedly got in Kirk's face and said, "You think this is funny? You're a complete embarrassment." Kirk attempted to explain himself, blaming editing, stress, even jealous people trying to trash my legacy. But the harm was done. His legacy was in flames. Rasheeda's Phoenix status triggered. And just when you thought this tale couldn't get any twist, a strange Instagram group called Truth Hurts Media uploaded what seems to be a FaceTime screenshot between KirkFrost and a mystery lady, time dated only 2 days before the Rasheeda video was released, with the remark, "KirkFrost has a hole. New boo, this was a setup all along." If true, it changes everything, since that implies KirkFrost, Kirk's new woman, didn't share the video out of pain. It as a distraction, a sleight of hand to divert attention away from his own secrets. And guess what, the lady in the FaceTime, some fans say it's the same female KirkFrost was caught with back in 2011. Yep, the one who was apparently only a stylist. So let's get this straight. KirkFrost sought to frame Rasheeda. KirkFrost may have had a new lady the whole time. KirkFrost bungled a TV bag, a marriage, a fan following, and a brand name in 1 month. Legendary levels of sabotage. But if you believe this is where it finishes, nah. Not even close, because Rasheeda isn't just choosing the high road, she's creating a freaking highway that wants her jocks to support. Her fans are Kirk's Instagram story riding with her businesses are sliding into her DM mess, and Mona is counting the days until Kirk's contract expires. As for Kirk, he just posted an IG story with the text, "Sometimes you have to lose everything to realize what matters." No sir, you realize too late that this isn't just a scandal. It's a societal transition from quiet spouses to power players, from clout chasers to consequence bearers, from poisonous love tales to genuine ones calling it out live. And Rasheeda isn't hiding anymore, she's reclaiming. And KirkFrost watching his empire disintegrate one ugly step at a time. And there you have it, folks. What started as a petty leak developed into a full-on expose that burnt reputations, reversed alliances, and disclosed realities that some person's KirkFrost outro. Frost believed he was pulling a power move when he pushed the pin on a grenade. And now he's standing in the ruins of all he constructed. Rasheeda walks away unhurt, unconcerned, and booked. But the real issue is whether this leak was a last-ditch power move or a cover-up for something more worse. Was Joc truly defending a friend? Or was this his opportunity to come into the spotlight? And what about that mystery woman on FaceTime? Stylist or side piece? We need answers. However, you are well aware that the internet will never sleeps, nor do we. So drop your hypotheses in the comments. Were put up by KirkFrost. Do you believe he is simply sloppy? Rasheeda's betting contract will outsell LoveAndHipHop. Is Joc playing hero or angling for his own spin-off? And should KirkFrost let us be barred from reality television forever? Let me know here, and don't forget to like, subscribe and touch the notification bell, so you don't miss every scandal, twist, or secret these reality stars attempt to hide, because if they are going to lie, we're going to say it aloud. Stay dirty, stay awake, and we'll see you in the next one.